Hello, everybody on Facebook Live, and hello as everybody starts coming into the room. Hello. Hello, everybody. So happy to see all your faces popping up on the screen. Another magical day with all these smiles coming into view. Absolutely love it. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody out there on Facebook Live. Great to see you. And hello to the folks in here. Hello to our announcer today, Arlene Baxter, coming in from California. Hello to Susan in Gettysburg, Deborah in Kentucky, Fran in DC, Trish, hello, nice to see you. Sheila in Florida, hello. Doug in Vermont, Kathy in Virginia, hello. Jenny in Victoria. Susan, hello, nice to see you today. Jamie in Victoria and Dion in Mass. Hello, Nancy's cow in Washington State. Steve in Baltimore, hello, good to see you again. Sarah, nice to see you today. Bill, hello, nice to have you. Becky, hello, coming in from Vancouver. Janet in Georgia with an awesome tree with bells on it, I think. Nice to see you. And Janet or Peter from, there she is. Peter and Janet, hello, good to see you guys coming in from Toronto. Barb in Kentucky, hello. Hello to Dan, nice to see you today. And Kevin in New Hampshire, hello. Ann in DC, Kathleen in Albuquerque, Dan in Virginia, hello Ellen in Colorado, Carolyn in Idaho, hello. Sid in Victoria, Jane in England, Annette in California, Clyde, hello, coming in from North Carolina, Lisa in Indiana, hello. Hello, Anna, coming in from Maryland, so happy to see you today. Karen in Arizona, hello. Adele, great to see you. Luda in Victoria, hello. That's, I think, the third Victoria. Francette and Dale in Colorado, hello. Suzanne in Ithaca, hello. And Ellen and Mommy in New Jersey, hello. Sarah, Kachina, Catherine, Melinda, Sandra, Joni, and other folks coming in and folks not on video. It's great to see you all. So glad you're here. And hello again to everybody out there on Facebook Live, especially Mary in Omaha, Ken in Louisiana, and Tiggs in Massachusetts who join every day out there. Great to see you guys again. So welcome to the Washington Revels Carpe Diem Arts Daily Antidote of Song in our 250-ish day week. We're super glad to be here and to have all of you joining us day after day to sing a song together, and in some cases like today, 2 songs together. A couple quick notes before we start. The lyrics will be in the chat, so you can find them there to both songs. And I also sent them out by email. If you're not on our email list, please pop your name into your email into the chat to me. Also, if you're new to us, let us know where you're coming from. So today is our day 3, I think, of our Revels Cities week. And we are having different Revels directors from around the nation leading us in song. There are 9 different Revels cities. Washington, D.C. is just one of them. We've heard from Revels North in Hanover, New Hampshire. We heard from Cambridge Revels in, guess what, Cambridge. And today we have California Revels with, guess what, California. And I'm super excited to introduce to you my co-host for the day, Betsy Fulford, who is the music director of Washington Revels. Betsy, I'm so glad you're here again, and we can't wait to hear from you.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here for the 3rd day of Revels Cities Week. And as Joe mentioned, there are 9 Revels cities in the country, and today I am very excited to introduce Shira Kammen from California Revels. And California Revels has been around for a long time, one of the longer ones, or the one with the most years. So I hope she'll tell us how many years California Revels has been functioning. You may know Shira from, if you're from the Washington, D.C. area, or frankly anywhere else in the country, you may have seen her and heard her as part of early music ensembles, because she's all over the place. Now, if it weren't for COVID-19, I'm sure she would be busily traveling the country to play lots of Baroque, Renaissance, and medieval Christmas concert type things. But I hope she will also tell us a little bit about how she's weathering the COVID storm as a freelance musician, in addition to her being music director of California Revels. So to that end, I'm just going to hand things over to Shira and let her talk to you about what songs she brought today. And I'm thrilled that she's also going to be playing some instruments as part of her teaching of us, teaching the songs. Shira.
Thank you so much, Betsy, and thank you, Arlene, and thank you, Joe. Um, I'm going to do with you a Hanukkah song from the Sephardic tradition, and then we'll do some talking, and then we'll do a sort of English secular holiday carol. But I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge Beethoven's birthday, which is today. So I encourage you all to put on a Beethoven symphony or two and think about him. So it's funny, I've been sitting in front of a screen now for 8.5 months, as have all of us, but I still feel nervous, which is ridiculous because I'm in my couch. I'm on my couch, and there's a cat, and but you know, it's this very, very strange way of communicating. I'm so glad we have our two-dimensional box venue here, but as you know, it's slightly odd. So, but we're going to do this anyway. The first song is a Sephardic song, as I mentioned. I learned this from a wonderful singer in New York City, Nell Snedas. Some of you may know her. And there are a number of Sephardic songs that have recipes in the texts, or at least references to things like donuts, or burmuelos, or chicken soup, or wine. And this one is not a recipe song, but it talks about, here, I'll read the translation just because it's cute. Leave the cup, take the cup. The girls set the table on the Sabbath of Hanukkah. Light the candle of Hanukkah. Give the chicken in the kitchen for the neighbor to taste. Let it be as medicine for her, proving that chicken soup is the universal remedy for all things. Sephardic, by the way, the term refers to the Jews that left Spain, not of their own volition, and the Iberian Peninsula in 1492, and then, like many, many different cultures, resulted in a diaspora all over the world. And so there are a lot of songs from these traditions that take on the characteristics of the countries that they go to. So a lot of the Sephardim went to places like the Balkans or the Middle East. Some of them went to China and Argentina, but this one has a slightly more, I'm going to say, Eastern European / Middle Eastern flavor. The second verse goes, put the meat in the oven. We will play a good santur, which is like a hammered dulcimer. The wine of the evening meal is very much to my taste. So here in California, it's like 9 in the morning, so thinking about wine seems a little bit extreme. But anyhow, the language is called Ladino. I think many of you will know this. It's a sort of medieval Spanish with occasional Hebrew words thrown in. And it's the language that many of the Sephardic songs are in. So I'm just going to sing a line, and I want you to sing it back. And please excuse my morning voice from California. I'm going to do this on Da. This doesn't really have a refrain, so I'm hoping you'll just sing all of the words with me, or fake them, and die, 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 as in all Jewish music and all other music is also quite acceptable. So, da 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 da, and sing that now. Da 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 da, and again now. Dun da 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 dun da 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 da. Excellent. And then it goes again with a slightly different ending. It goes to this. Da 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 da. So just sing that version of it. Da 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 da. And when you look at the text that's in the chat, it doesn't reflect this, but each of the first lines of every stanza gets repeated. For example, it'll go, Dakil tas tomal tas, and then it repeats, Dakil tas tomal tas. Nothing else repeats but the first line of every stanza. And of course, in Zoomland, you can do it however you like. I could imagine it's a kind of call and response, so one person singing the first thing and everyone else singing back. And then I'm just hoping you'll sing the rest of each verse. So that's half of the verse. Then it goes on to the following notes. Excuse me. Da 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 da. Sing that. Da 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 da. Once more. Da 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 da. It goes on. Da 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 da. Sing that. Da 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 da. And again. Da 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 da. Last bit. Da 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 da. Sing that. Da 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 da. Once more. Da 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 da. So after we do the little repeated thing at the beginning, which we'll go over in a moment, then the rest of the verse I'll review in toto. Actually, I'm going to play it. This is the second part of the verse. So let's try that all together, that second part of the verse. And so the whole verse on da, we start, which I love the way that it starts because it starts on the note below what I would say, what I think of as the key. We'll go a little slower. So that's how it starts. And here we go now. Fabulous. You'll know it by the end of all the verses. One strange thing about the song, which I like when things are simple but not easy. It has you can see that every other verse has an extra line. So when you get to verse 2, La gallina de la cocina, we repeat that first line. And then we have an extra line of text. And in every other verse, the piece gets longer. So just listen. This is, I'll play the whole verse 2. This is what you know. And then you repeat what you just sang. I'll try to holler that out, but it's just a cool way of making the phrases not equal. So just to remind you again, before we sing the whole thing, the first line of every stanza repeats, and then there's 4 verses, and verses 2 and 4 have an extra line of music. We'll just see what happens. I also encourage you, if you can, I'm going to play along and drone along. It's an excellent thing for body percussion, should you wish to wake up. Well, you're not in the morning, so you're not waking up things. Well, actually, some of you might be even earlier than me. But a nice rhythm for this is bum 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 bum, or bum 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 bum. So if you're finding yourself wanting to involve your body more, feel free to percuss upon yourself. I'll play the whole melody one time, just the first verse so you can remember it, and then we'll start right in and do all 4 verses in a row. Here we go. Dakiltas tomaltas, dakiltas tomaltas, las muchachas de Tembas en el mes de Chanukah, Halikne Shel Chanukah. Any couple measures? Verse 2. La gallina de la Lucina, la verse 3. Mete la carne al tambur, mete la carne al tambur, Italian yerimus way santur, ein Shabbat Chanukah, Ner shel Chanukah. And the last verse. El vino de la cerrada, el vino de la cerrada, que a mí mucho me agrada, a beber en Chanukah, en Shabbat de Chanukah, al Ner shel Chanukah. We're gonna do the last verse again. El vino de la cerrada, el vino de la cerrada, que a mí mucho me agrada, a beber en Chanukah, en Shabbat de Chanukah, Yadlik ner shel Chanukah. Most excellent, and thank you for indulging me doing that last verse again because I went to the wrong place in the. If you like this piece, I have it written out, and I'm happy to send it via Joe or anyone if you want the actual dots.
So thank you so much, Shira. That was really, really great, and definitely a combination of a challenge between the music, which, as you said, is simple but not easy, and then the words, which are new to us, of course. And but I loved the challenge and found myself able to sing along with quite a lot of it. So
you can always
yeah.
fake the language.
Yeah, there you go. And on Zoom, of course, nobody can hear me if I'm messing up. So and I think there are people who would like the dots. So if you send me the PDFs,
Absolutely.
I will. Yep, I'll get them out to everybody.
Happy to do that. I read somebody's instruction for something and it said, on Zoom, nobody could hear you scream.
That's really good. I'm going to turn it over to Betsy for some chat time. Betsy, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Such variety this week. So this was a wonderful mix of early music and just joyful playing and joyful singing. And I was making it up too, but having a good time doing it. So thank you for that. Shira, can you I sort of want to combine a couple things, which we're asking everyone to talk a little bit about sort of how you're celebrating whatever holiday you celebrate in December. But also sort of how is COVID-19 affecting what you do in life, including celebrating in December? How are things different for you?
Well, like everybody, everything is vastly different and strangely familiar all at once. And I imagine from other musicians you've talked to, our lives are very, very different because we can't make music together. Every now and then, and I was lucky to do this with Arlene Baxter, who was also my real estate agent, as well as a friend and colleague in music. We've done a few, Arlene and I and me and other people, I've done some backyard playing. Arlene and I did a sort of mini kind of banquet holiday pageant-ish thing in the same room, but masked and far away. I've done a little bit of recording in an airplane hangar that a friend of mine has, which was really, really fun. But with all of there's been very little playing in person. And then when there is, of course, you can't do it the way you would. You'd be far away. I did a project of some John Dowland where the singer was 30 feet away and singing to the outside. And it was very curious. It was better to do it than not to do it. But as all of us, and I consider myself extremely privileged and lucky in this COVID situation, but I really, really miss making three-dimensional music with three-dimensional people in the same place. And I think it's going to be quite amazing when it actually happens. So as far as work goes, I've been doing teaching from home, which is challenging. If you're teaching a class, you're doing what's happening now where I'm relating to a screen and hoping that I'm connecting with you and not really knowing because I'm just talking to a screen. I see people and that helps a great deal, a whole great deal. Like most musicians, now I've been dragged kicking and screaming into the tech world with inputs and outputs and learning how to do some basic recording and editing. It's not something I ever would have tried to do had there not been a pandemic, but it's one of the things we can do now. So, being involved, and I'm involved in I don't know if you know the Chalice 40-part motet. There have been several virtual choirs, or maybe probably a lot, doing it, but I'm involved in a 40-country spem in alium 40-part motet. So later today I have to record chorus 2, alto 1, of where it will be me and 39 other parts. But you're by yourself in your room trying to figure out what your life is about. But I've been really lucky. I've been lucky that there's been teaching opportunities and occasional in-person, even though they're strange. I also play miniature folk harp I used to play in hospitals, in both waiting rooms and like infusion situations, and sometimes like in ICUs outside the rooms of people and going in if they invite you. But of course that's totally gone now. But that organization has very, very kindly allowed us to do some live streams into hospitals. So again, like this afternoon, I'll play for a children's palliative care house, and I'll sit on my couch and my cat will be next to me, and I will play for people that I hope are listening. So it's been interesting. As you all know, it's isolating, and it's at the same time, I'm so grateful for Zoom and these platforms that we have where, I mean, I can't imagine this without, I have visited probably like most of you with people I haven't seen in a long time. And I don't miss the travel part of traveling, but I really, really miss the people that I would have connected with and played music with had we not had this situation. I think it's going to be quite remarkable to see what happens after this.
Yeah. So Shira, some questions are actually coming in, and I'd love to relay one of them to you first, which is a couple people have asked about your instrument.
Oh, yeah.
If they could see it more closely, and maybe you could tell us what it is.
Absolutely.
And what a little bit about the bow also.
Oh yeah. This is one of, I can't know, it's sort of there. This is on my VL, that's a VIELLE, and that's a word that means medieval fiddle. It means other things too, but I play a lot of medieval music. It's the thing I probably know most about in my extremely small pond sort of world here. And so this is a modern instrument. We don't have any medieval fiddles that we can play on left from there. And this was made by someone in Rhode Island. And one of the most distinctive things about medieval fiddles is that they're not standardized. Like violins, you kind of know what they're going to look like. And in general, you tune them a certain way, although some traditions have slightly different tuning systems. But you know it's going to look like a violin. It'll have 4 strings. Sometimes, most of the time you play it like this, but sometimes you play it on your knee. So this is like the great-grandmother of the violin. I mean, and this is, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of like an archery bow. So it's a rather extreme bow, I should say. And again, it was made in the last 50 years by someone in England. And someone else would have a different bow, and they might have a VL with 4 strings or 6 strings, and they might play it on their knee. So it's a very fluid kind of thing.
Thank you. And then another question, which is actually a great segue, is, so California is a really big state. Where is California Revels?
California Revels right now is in an imaginary box in the sky, but it's usually in Oakland, California. So the Bay Area, we consider it Northern California.
And can you tell us a little bit about how you've created a Revels for your audience? In fact, for all of us, because we can all virtually attend this year.
Yes, this is true. Oh my, but it was challenging. I think, I don't know, I'm curious to talk to all of the other Revels people who put together a virtual thing. Ours here is, I'd say it's a combination of archival and some new things. We had a bunch of archival material, and then the wonderful Lynn Ungar, who is a poet who's been she was the chorus manager for many years. She's just moved up to the Portland area, but she wrote a script that would bind together all this archival stuff, and it involves a young girl that has a magic staff that gets kind of out of control, and then that's kind of the template or the frame for looking in at the past and looking in at these various Revels shows. And then we did a little bit of Moria asks, Lynn Ungar moved to Vancouver, Washington. A lot of people, it seems, are taking this time to move because they can't do what they want to do anywhere anyway. And the Bay Area it's a wonderful place to live, but it's expensive and challenging. So I think her parents moved as well. I'll tell you one more thing about Lynn a little later, because I'm doing an event with her on Friday night that I want to share with you. Anyway, she's an amazing poet, and she wrote this poem called Pandemic at the very beginning. And I guess it kind of went viral, excuse the expression. And so a lot of people have now heard of her and her poetry. So back to the Revels. We also did some live recording. One was at the Oakland Zoo. The Revels has a connection with the Oakland Zoo. And so we had one day of filming the YPs, the young performers, and the kids of Revels doing a ribbon dance, and the ribbons were 6 feet long, so everyone was socially distanced, and they danced in their masks. And so we had that as a live element, and we had live music in that situation. And then we did a couple days of filming with very, very few people, also masked in a church in front of a green screen. And then, it all got, and my role in a lot of it, besides playing, was going over archival Revels videos and audio, and that, I have to say, was extremely nostalgic. Just years and years of Revels. I've been involved, I think, for 25 or 26 years, not all in a row, but you look back and you think, oh my God, that 5-year-old now has a child, and those people aren't alive anymore, and whatever happened to so and so. So I found it a very poignant and a dear experience as well. It felt very connecting. Of course, the tech aspect of it is so new to almost all of us. So we had to, of course, involve people who lived in that world, like people who knew what Zoom was before March. And so they then took all of the files and made them into other things. And it's a trip. The whole thing has been a really, really interesting experience. We did one weekend last weekend, and some things will be tweaked over the week, and then we'll have next weekend as well. But I feel like my December doesn't make any sense. I'm not driving over to the Scottish Rite every day and, not freezing in there and not seeing friends and eating way too many marvelous things that they bring.
So I know that Arlene is here also today from California and has some announcements to make. And then I think we have another song and maybe even a little video clip from you after that.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Arlene Baxter. I'm also in Northern California, right across from San Francisco and Berkeley. And then Shira is just a little bit north of me in El Cerrito in the East Bay. It's been my honor and pleasure to be Shira's friend and her realtor, a singer. She's just a really special human being, if you didn't already get that sense. So now, with a little rhythm, and now let's hear announcements for the Antidote of Song. This weekend, all across the country, Revels groups around the country bring music, dance, and pageantry. Details are in the chat. There's Revels North this Friday night, plus Revels Friday night. California Revels Friday night shows all weekend, makes things bright. Details are in the chat. Washington brings Solstice Revels. This Sunday is the Solstice Revels, The shortest day greets DC Revels. Details are in the chat. Next year we'll meet for a discussion. Daily Antidote film discussion. Watch that film, then we'll discuss it. Details are coming soon. Join our daily group on Facebook. Antidote is now on Facebook. Songs and news and friends on Facebook. Details are in the chat. If you miss our singing one day, if you cannot be here one day, you can always watch the replay. That link is in the chat. Every day, Joe sends an email. Want to get Joe's daily emails? Share ideas? Then send her email. Details are in the chat. Thanks to Binta for her tech help. To the Revels for this soul help. If you need the lyrics, that helps. Always in the chat. I thank you for this. Each day, all year, Joe greets each one, welcomes us, makes it so fun, sharing songs with everyone, with details in the chat. I thank you for this daily pleasure. Antidote is such a treasure, a community without measure. Thanks, Joe, for creating that. Thanks, dear Joe, for creating that.
Holy cow, that was so cool. And I love this thing that we're doing where we're turning the announcements over to different members of the community, because it is amazing to hear how people are interpreting the announcements and how they're interpreting their own experience with the daily. Arlene, thank you so much for turning it all into a giant poem, by which I have to say to everybody else who has signed up for announcements, you are all now gonna have to figure out what you can do to one up that one, because that was pretty darn good. Thank you, Arlene, so much for doing that. That was terrific. I just want to shout out one thing I saw in the chat, because I love when there's endeavors that come together that actually like take the daily and do something else with it. So I saw that Deborah, who has an organization called Dancing Well, is hosting today at 4 o'clock a dance time to the song that we sang in here yesterday. And that Janet from Georgia, who seemingly appears everywhere, knowing everyone, is actually also singing in there. So Deborah, Janet, can you guys both wave so folks can see you? Sounds like it's 4 o'clock. Is that Eastern? Give me a thumbs up. Great. So check that out in the chat, and I hope to see lots of you there. Betsy, I am kicking it back to you. And thanks again, Arlene.
Well, I'm going to kick it back to Shira. So I think Shira's got a couple more things to share with us, and yet another beautiful instrument to see.
Oh, right. Is there time? Is it okay to show this video? Or if there's time, I'll do that. So I also have, well, I'll play this instrument with you when we sing one other song. This is a medieval style harp. I'll just play a couple notes so you can hear it. Anyway, that's what I usually use to play for the kids. This afternoon when I play for the Palliative Care Center, I'll play that. I'll just say a couple other words if this is okay. That one of the pandemic things that I started on March 17th, and I only mention it because it feels in parallel with what's going on with this event, is I started a thing called Noonie Tunes. And Noonie Tunes it really happens whenever you want. But I just post a tune every day it's a Facebook page called Noonie Tunes. And then the idea was that everyone would play it at noon, but it's not online. You just play it and you just know everyone else is playing the same thing. And anyway, it turned into, it's gone on since 2 now. So it's been another little ritual every day, and various people, I'll ask people to check in and tell me what they played it on. And it's been, as you know, because you're doing this, having something that delineates your day in a way, if you're at home, is really helpful and something that's musical, of course. So I'm going to share a 3-minute video with you, and this is a little bit of product placement because this is something that's in the Revels show, the California one. It's a little dance sequence from a few years ago, and the music is something that I wrote. The text is O Fortuna Velut Luna, which is from the original Carmina Burana, which is a giant medieval collection, but Carl Orff wrote the famous one that people will know. And I wanted to share it because it was a Revels thing. Jerry Reed, who directed this year's Revels, was the choreographer. David Parr was the director. And it's just got dancing skeletons. So I thought, well, what says happy birthday Beethoven more than dancing skeletons? And the text is, it's talking about fortune and how basically sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug. So I'm going to share my screen. And Betsy, will you holler if something's not right with this? Okay, I always talk to myself when I'm pressing buttons. I'm pressing buttons now. Share, make larger, go to the beginning, and here we go. Whoops. I cut it off early just because I know it wasn't there for everyone. Some people were, like, I think it stopped for different people at different times. But I'm happy to share that link with you if you like. Maybe I can do that all through Joe if that's okay. Okay, enough of that anyways. But I hope that we will all be on the rising part of the Wheel of Fortune soon enough. So we have one more song. I know I've gone off yakking too much. This is a song that I learned recently, and at a folk camp called Camp Harmony, and I kind of fell in love with it. It's called the Halsey Carol, and It's a modern carol. The words are by Ian Frisk, and the music is by Nigel Eaton. And I'll just really quickly go over the melodies with you. This one does have a refrain. I'll teach that first. I'll do it. Actually, I'll just do it with the words. This is, I think you can, if you can post the words, that'd be awesome. It goes, a winter's day, the summer's grass turned hay. So just sing that. A winter's day, the summer's grass turned hay. Then, frost in the field till the dawn of May. Frost in the field till the dawn of May. Once more. Frost in the field till the dawn of May. So that's half of the refrain. Let's just sing that. A winter's day, the summer's grass turned hay. Frost in the field till the dawn of May. A winter's day, the summer grass turned hay. Frost in the field till the dawn of May. Then it goes, excuse me. A summer's light never shone as great or as bright. Just sing that. A summer's night never shone as great or as bright. So dance in the shadows of a winter's night. So dance in the shadows of a winter's night. Please excuse my inadvertent yodeling. It's just been the last couple days, been happening. Okay, so that's the refrain, and I'll very quickly teach you the melody for the verses. Da 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 da. Sing that. Da 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 ba da 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 da. Then you repeat what you did with a little bit of a change. Da 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 da. Sing that. Da 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 da. And then it concludes, as you might think, da 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 da. So the whole verse is, and feel free to join me with this. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You sing that, then you repeat it with a second set of words, and then you sing, a winter's day, the summer grass turned hay, frost in the field till the dawn of May. A summer's light never shone as great or as bright, so dance in the shadows of a winter's night. And then we go back and we do another verse. So we'll just dive right in. I'll figure out how to place myself here. I will attempt to do chords. Anything could happen. Okay. Here we go. It's verse, verse, chorus, verse, verse, chorus. Lo, for the tiding of the long night moon, let the sunrise call about the morning soon. Short is the biding of the fading light. Sing for the felling of the longest night. North wind, tell us what we need to know. When the stars are shining on the midnight snow, all of the branches will be turned to white. Sing for the coming of the longest night. A winter's day, the summer's grass turned hay. Frost in the field in the dawn of May. A summer's night never shone as great or as bright, so dance in the shadows of a winter's night. And now back to the next verse. Lo, for the tiding of the long night moon, may the harvest last until the springtime bloom. Home is our comfort at the winter's height. Sing for the coming of the longest night. All of the colors of the sunrise sky shine a light upon us as the days go by. Sun setting, shadows fading out of sight. Sing for the coming of the longest night. A winter's day, the summer grass turned hay. Frost in the field till the dawn of May. A summer's night never shone as great or as bright. So dance in the shadows of a winter's night. Let's repeat the refrain. A winter's day, the summer grass turned hay. Frost in the field till the dawn of May. A summer's light never shone as great or as bright. So dance in the shadows of a winter's night. I think that's just a lovely song, and since we're cruising towards the longest night, I wish all of us just a good return to some sense of vibrancy. And thank you, Betsy and Joe and Arlene and Washington Revels, and all of you for coming and keeping the lights on.
Thank you, Shira. That was so lovely. That song had just the sweetest melody. I just wanted it to keep going. I didn't actually want it to end. That was too short for my taste. But thank you so much. And hopefully anybody who felt the same as me, you can go back and watch it on Facebook Live and sing along with it again and again, and just keep hitting the repeat button if there's such a thing. Thank you.
If you Google it, sorry, you can find a lovely version with, I don't remember her name, but it will be the first thing that comes up. And I can send you the music to that if you wish as well.
Oh, great. Sure. Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, if I can include that link in the email for tomorrow, that would be really, really super. Thank you, Shira, so much for being here. Thank you, California Revels, for sharing that lovely piece of video with us. And what did you call it? Product placement. I think that's so great. There is the sort of, the tear between the nonprofit mentality, i.e. like we just want to give it to everybody all the time. And the fact that we actually have to really make money in order to be able to, produce it and actually eat or whatever else we like to do. So thank you for the product placement. I can't wait to see your show. And thank you, Betsy, for great hosting. Thank you, Arlene, for the most creative announcing we've had thus far. Sorry, everybody who came before her, but the bar is now higher. And I want to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook Live. Thank you, gang, so much for being with us today. Hope you can join us tomorrow for Puget Sound Revels. Let's see, Mary Lynn has a menu of exciting things for us tomorrow. I think everybody's going to really enjoy it. So hope to see you then.